I'm shocked. Everybody is to leave here immediately. This cafe is closed until further notice. Clear the room at once.
Ooh, welcome to the Culture Shock Therapy. I'm the Young Mystic.
And I'm Black Bar Calvin.
Whoa.
Who'd have thunk it?
I don't know. Whose idea was this to plan this out for a few weeks?
Definitely wasn't planning, you know. I'm against plans.
I just don't like structure in general, honestly. I just, it repulses me.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't wear clothes if I didn't have to.
Have you ever considered a nudist colony?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm also very insecure about my body, so, it was all a lie. I wouldn't actually go naked.
Well, I mean, maybe, I feel like every nudist colony...
Well, yeah, if you're at a nudist colony, everybody just kind of, obviously it's not like the movies where it's like a bunch of Playboy models or something, but,
Yeah. No, I mean, I considered it, but I was like, oh, I'm not good enough for it.
You're like my cock is too big. It just swings around. And it's just too
honestly,
much trouble for them.
Like, okay, this is it. I'm
Wait a second. We don't need to talk about.
I'm more of a grower, than a shower. But still, like free balling it, just like free airing it, isn't comfortable to me. Like, it's probably because I'm so used to the lie that is wearing clothes. But like, I honestly don't feel comfortable if I don't have underwear like tugging me in.
Are you boxers or briefs, man?
Oh, I'm a briefs guy. Briefs are the tight ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
They're
I don't want
brief.
that. Yeah, I don't want those fucking loosey-goosey motherfuckers.
It depends. I have both, so I kind of switch between them. But I don't know which I really prefer though, because there are advantages to both. You're
an underwear switch.
Yeah, and also amongst other things.
No, I want to be more. I wish I was more switchy when it came to underwear, but all my experiences with boxers were, briefs.
You just appreciate having it on lockdown. You're like nothing's gonna. There's no surprises there. It's all locked in place.
Yeah. Also, I need something or someone to hug me. So
Yeah, it might as well be your clothes themselves.
Yeah. All about. That's why I'm all hype about the skinny jean trend that we're seeing. Over the last decade or so.
I don't know. It comes back every couple of years, doesn't it? I mean, hasn't it been around for a long time?
I feel like
I don't know. I'm still deep in the like joggers phase because they're just so comfortable. You can wear them at any time.
That is true.
Anywhere. You can wear them anywhere.
That is true.
Sweatpants, man.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really gotten into the sweatpants game, but honestly, post-COVID, I think I might need to adopt it.
I used to have a lot of like jeans and stuff like that, but I mostly wear sweatpants. Well, it's like some of them are sweatpants, but I think joggers are a little bit more fashionable because they're tighter around the cuff. So it's a little bit. It's not just like wearing like pajama bottoms outside or something like that,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like whenever I see joggers, like they look so stylish. I know I couldn't pull them off. They look like hammer pants sometimes, and I'm just
sometimes you should just wear parachute pants.
Ooh, you see, that's a trend I want back. I keep hearing the '90s are back in fashion, but I was like, wait, what? All I hope is that the early 2000s never come back in fashion.
I don't know. I mean, some of those crop tops were nice. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
Some of those disgusting yellow sneakers were pretty cool. I want bell bottoms back, man.
I feel like they are back.
It depends, but I just mean like I want to have like those really, really like the real bell bottoms,
okay.
Tight around the legs, and then at the bottom they completely flare out, just like on that area. I think that would be so cool.
Yeah, but those aren't back, and especially men. It's not back for men. I feel like fashion trends for men are just like pretty lame.
Well, yeah. I mean, you ever see a fashion show for men? It's like so boring.
Yeah.
They just walk. They just kind of out there.
And always just
back.
like they're just always like super stern. I'm just like, yo,
Yeah,
dude,
stone
like,
faced. Yeah.
fucking smile, motherfucker. I hate it. I am
How
actually
am I
interested
supposed
in
to get
fashion.
excited about these clothes if you aren't excited? I mean, this is just bad advertising. I can't
Yeah, I agree.
abide by this.
Agreeable. I mean, like, I actually do like. I think fashion is actually pretty interesting if you look at it from like an artistic point of view. Like,
Yeah.
like, because I think that a common trend or like a common thing I hear is people like, oh, oh, fashion shows are fucking stupid. No one would actually wear that. And it's like, well, yeah, it's more of it's like just a walking art piece. And if you think about it like in that case, then it's like more interesting to me at the very least.
I
um,
imagine that person like being at a museum and they see like a Monet painting and they're like, you would never see that. You'd never see like that. What?
yeah, honestly. But yeah, so I'm definitely a big fan of fashion. I also grew up watching Project Runway with my sisters, so that could be
Wow. How
it.
about that?
Yeah.
I know. I used to watch a lot of, RuPaul with an ex of mine. That was a fun
Mm,
time. That was interesting. I don't know. I think that there's like two sides to fashion
mm,
because like on one hand I agree that artistically I find it really interesting and especially as a way of expression. So like people's personal sense of fashion I find pretty interesting,
yeah.
you know. But I just think that there's this whole other ugly side to just the way that all those kinds of industries are constantly marketing things, and it's all
Oh
just
yeah.
like built up on I don't know. It's not. I mean, it's not like regular people can afford to see fashion shows or anything like
Oh
that. Like
yeah.
it's been a
No.
classist institution since like a very long time.
And that's the thing. Like which constantly happens is like for example, like Drag Race and stuff and shows like that used to be like demonized, and some of the
Sure.
fashion trends and types of fashion that they would wear would was seen as trash and garbage, but then it gets co-opted,
Yeah.
obviously now. Once it becomes the populace is more okay with
Yeah.
drag queens and stuff like that, and
If
then
some.
it's
Yeah.
becomes and then it's not even the drag people a lot of times who get credit, or even get to be on or be the showrunners or the you know artists who create those like runway shows. And it's just it's always sad. It's a common trend, with almost all
Yeah.
forms of art that start small.
Yeah. Yeah. And like the more popular something becomes like that, and the more recognized it is, then it like once it becomes like a more upper echelon kind of thing, then it loses a lot of the stuff that made it more unique, I guess. Like
Yeah.
like if you thought about like if you were at like a drag show in the 70s or the 80s, you'd be in like a fucking hole in the wall place. It would be like
Yep.
really, really like low. Like nobody doing that stuff really had like a huge amount of money to be putting into it. It was
Hmm.
like a very kind of low class gay bar kind of thing.
Hmm.
And now it's like very, very big.
Yeah.
These newer waves of these sorts of forms are just so big that it's like I know it's difficult because I think people should be successful and people that
Yeah.
get to do what they love and express themselves and find success doing that. That's a very cool thing that I appreciate.
Yeah.
I just don't appreciate how there's like a gate that gets set up. Once you're let in, then it's like it takes away something from it. Like
Yeah.
like I don't know, musicals and all sorts of fucking shit like that.
Yeah. Because
Art,
once
like you said.
Yeah, because once you're let in, it becomes you have to conform to what the market wants,
Right.
whereas, for example, there's a really great show on Netflix, Pose, if you've seen that.
No.
Yeah, it's really good. It follows, during the AIDS epidemic, 70s, 80s, uh, a Pose, group, in, New York. And, it's very interesting just how all the struggles and things they went through. And then on top of that, dealing with the AIDS epidemic and, them trying to make it, as someone who's
Hmm.
trans or gay or, whatever. And so it's a really great show. But again, it what happens always, we see this in all forms of art, is that once it becomes mainstream or once it becomes something that the quote unquote market desires, it then becomes what is universal rather than what is maybe, what is the true artist's intention or desire, and that's why those like small scale
Yeah.
drag shows and pose shows were just so unique and like amazing, especially at the time. But yeah, definitely got watered down in some ways. But I think that's just what happens.
Yeah. That's just kind of how industries function now. So anything that becomes a staple of the overall industry just becomes a total, and just like you said, the conforming. And when the stakes are that high and you need more money, and these are the people that get money, they have a lot more pull over what decisions get made. So it takes a lot. I know. I just think that a lot of the smaller scale stuff feels a lot more personal.
Yeah.
A lot of the bigger scale stuff feels a lot less personal, which is something of a turnoff. Not that I hate all commercial things.
Oh yeah,
Not
no.
bad.
Yeah. No, it's like it's one of those things where when I was growing up, like my mom would take me to like theater shows, small scale theater shows, and then when I got a little bit older, and then the schools would take us on trips, or I would go on my own, a little bit older. Admittedly, I don't go to that many shows, obviously, but also I think a lot of non-city or local theater performances are pretty a lot of your average Americans gatekeeped out of it,
That's
because
true.
it's so expensive. But anyway, but I loved those small scale the black box theaters, like those small scale theaters, because not only for me it was more personal and intimate, but it was so creative. And then when I go and look at some of these other plays that are these larger plays, not to say they're not creative or they're not amazing in their own right, but yeah, you're right. It's just so much more personal when it's smaller. And I think that's one, I always like to bring up Disney because I feel like they're probably the worst.
I was also thinking about Disney.
Yeah, because I mean, look at the first two Pixar movies. Not only were they Toy Story movies. Not only were they a technical achievement,
Hey,
but
Bugs Life is great too.
I'm an Antz man, but
Wow, really?